What's really good, ladies and gentlemen? It's the OG Boricua Don Dada, aka Chef. New artwork behind me, feeling good, all that good ish. Listen, I have no. It was a super slow week this weekend. Nothing really happened that I seen leading up to today. I'll throw out the first thing because the first thing I seen that Trevor Lee signed with MLW. Now,
Yes.
people like us, we like this deal.
Yes.
Um, we're getting more people signed outside of luchadors into MLW. Starting to feel like we're getting Fusion back sooner than later, and we're starting to build on that roster. So that's a really good sign. Now, the weird thing I got to throw out there, and you could talk on Trevor Lee in a second if you want, is Mystical signs to AEW, but he's going to be at this show coming up. So I'm curious what's going on.
Well, not to go back and forth, but you know how the business is. Yeah, Mystical is has a dual contract now with, he's still in CMLL,
Yep.
and now he's working for AEW because he's part of the 6 men tag champions. But I'm pretty sure that he already has something in his contract that he was going to work for MLW on this specific show. But this specific show
Oh,
was
closed off the dates.
in the books since December or January of this year. So I'm pretty sure Tony Khan said, no problem, man. We'll let you do that one to finish up your little what's left with MLW, which is also good for MLW because the show brings people. It's supposed to be a Mexican, or it's supposed to be a Mexico themed with New Japan or New Japan Wrestling theme show, which they do every year, and they always alternate between Mexico and Japan. So this time it looks like it's going to be something small, only one day, and then it includes MLW in the mix. Because usually this show happens in January when they do those Fantastic Mania. Usually happens in January, either in Japan or in Mexico. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, which is good that they still keep this thing going because, as we know, New Japan Wrestling is real deep with AEW.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Even though people, fans like me, hate it because if you notice, everything is always going forward towards AEW over New Japan. So, but yeah, so Mystical's going to be there. Hopefully, this will be the last time. I hope. But it's sold out the show, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be a hell of a show. Can't wait to watch that whenever Fusion. But this is going to be another Fusion taping too, so we'll be able to see this in the future coming up. So that's a good thing. Now back to Trevor Lee. This is huge for MLW. But Trevor Lee is one of those awesome wrestlers that we've seen. Now the crazy thing that I find crazy is that Trevor Lee is only 32 years old, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I say it sounds crazy, this dude sounds like he's been up for like the last 20 plus years as wrestling, and he's only 32. Because I remember when we used to watch him in GFW, Jeff Jarrett's company,
Yep.
the Wild Man Beast or whatever, and they had that little feud.
GFW versus Impact.
They had the invasion of TNA or whatever, and that shit flopped. And then he was there for a long time in TNA, and then he left from there to NXT, and he was there for a while with your boy, the $1 Million Man, where they put the belt on him, the $1 Million belt on him, and I could have swore that dude was already in his 30s then. And then you see to the moon, and then you can see them wrestling, and then he got released, and you swear, oh, that guy's got to be late 30s, pushing 40. This dude is only 32 years old. This dude has been wrestling, I want to say, since he was probably like 12. and then different cities, different states, they have different ages. So he used to be with the Hardys when they had the Omega Wrestling. So it's their own little small company. So he started there. So he was able to wrestle at a young age when his name got out. And so you think this guy's been out for a long time. This dude's only 32 years old. This dude's been wrestling for like over 20 years, and he's only 32. So This dude hasn't even hit his prime yet. So MLW is gonna get him in his prime now, which is awesome. Which I think is very awesome for him to do that. Now it all depends how he's gonna get used forward. I mean, we have more questions than answers when it comes to MLW because we don't know much about what's going on, except for the last show was back in January where we had the Battle Riot, and Fusion is coming back, and now we're in the first week of April, and it's more questions than answers. So all we can see here is just speculate of what's going to happen, where they're going to go. What I see a growth coming. I see a big year coming from MLW, as long as they don't get any type of bad publicity, and some guy doesn't do something stupid and gets arrested, or they leave back to WWE. This should be good. But they're building a solid foundation now with a roster. People are getting signed. A couple of years ago, nobody was getting signed, and then for a while you didn't know. And then for a while you didn't know if they even had a roster. So now you're seeing people actually getting signed to multi-year contracts, which those are 2 years contracts. So that's a good thing, male or females. So I can't complain.
Well, I think that in a short period of time, because we had touched on this briefly. Actually, we've done episodes while it has dropped. We've seen them sign all of Gallus, right? Because we'll go Gallus because that's what their needs over here. So you get all three. You got Wolfgang and the Coffee Bros. So you're like, oh shit, right? We just signed 3 wrestlers. So you're like, all right, dope, right? This is cool. Then you see that they add Lady Frost into the women's division. So you're like, damn, all right. We got Gallus, we got Lady Frost, who I know we're all super high on. We love her work. And then they follow up with Trevor Lee. Now, I agree with you because he looked like an old man when I first seen him coming from GFW to Impact Wrestling with the feud, which, let me tell you something, and yeah, I'm biased because I'm there for it, but if they would have played the cards right with the GFW angle, it was looking dope. I really enjoyed it.
That shit was horrendous. That was horrible. Horrible. Yeah. Oh my God. That was so horrible.
What was horrible?
The whole angle thing that they were taking over, and the invasion thing. Oh, that was horrible.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, dude, everybody saw that coming. It wasn't even a surprise. It was just
it's not about surprise. I'm talking the wrestling was good.
I know that, but it was just bad, bro. It was just
anyway. Listen, so then the savior of TNA, Impact Wrestling, is Thomas Latimer ultimately, right? His music plays. He's the last participant in. Fucking crowd goes crazy. GFW walks away. So we're like, all right, we know why it didn't work out, whatever. Trevor Lee sticks around with Andrew Everett, who are fan favorites, right?
Oh, God. Those 2 guys as a tag team, amazing.
Incredible. Yeah, incredible. Everett could never stay healthy, I think.
Another guy, Andrew Everett from the Omega Wrestling, from North Carolina, with the Hardy Boys. So another guy for a long time who's young in age. Because he's been out for such a long time, being young, that you think they're already in the 40s, and these guys are just barely hitting 30s now.
I think the main issue with Everett, though, was that he could never stay healthy, right? He was that guy who always got hit with the injury bug.
Yes.
Trevor Lee goes to NXT. Like you said, he gets the seal of approval to walk around with the $1 million belt, which is my all-time favorite championship belt of all time.
Dude, and that's an honor. That's an honor. When you get this dope with the $1 million man, Ted DiBiase, and then they give you the real $1 million belt. Come on, man. That's an honor in itself, right?
Oh, for sure. So whatever doesn't work out, right? We don't know why it didn't work out at NXT. Did his thing on the independents for a little bit. We've seen him pop in once in a blue with MLW, and since Joseph Samael has been there, I'm not giving him all the credit. I'm not going to pat the big bro on the back.
Well, yes, you are.
But ever since he's been there, we've seen what Battle Riot looked like. We've seen what Contra Unit looked like in Battle Riot, because remember, we don't have product after it. We can only talk about what we've got in this sample size of what he's been there for.
N.W.A is 33 years old, and he started wrestling in 2007. That's going to be 20 years next year.
That's crazy. So
only 33.
So
now,
we see Contra Unit.
If they sign him to a contract with LMW, I'll freak. If he gets signed, if they give him a contract.
I mean, he's got to prove to stay healthy, right? Like, that's just as a business person, that's what you worry about. So
yes.
we see Contra Unit look good. Battle Riot was a lot of fun. A lot of guys had a lot of strong spots. It wasn't like anybody, the goofy stuff was fun or whatever, but everybody had their spot to shine and shined well. This wasn't your typical one guy's going to go over, look super strong, throw everybody out. No, this was a very strong Battle Riot. We've seen the production side since Paul Walter Hauser look phenomenal. So Gallus gets signed, Frost gets signed, Trevor Lee gets signed. The production looks great. We hear there's a lot of things going in the right direction. So it feels like Court finally said, look, I need a team to make this happen. Paul Walter Hauser's a smart guy. He's got another movie coming out. This guy is pumping out movies like
left and right. I've never seen a guy have so many and not B movies, not C movies, like movies straight to DVD. No.
Yeah.
We talk about movies in the theater. Like this dude is dropping movies left and right. I think it's like 5 movies a month.
Dude, it's like I think he did 3 or 4 last year.
Like either starting, co-starting, or he has something huge. Like the one that I want to see now with Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg. I gotta see that.
I gotta see that one. So that shit looks funny. But this dude is like everywhere, bro. Like I'm like, damn.
So it's cool because I originally seen him as just a spoof character. He's not a main character in Cobra Kai, right? He's an extra. He's a funny little character. And then branches out, goes nuts. You find out he's a wrestling fan. He's on AEW, he's on MLW, he's on the independents. And then all of a sudden, Court fucking says, you know what? I want you in-house. Let's go do this. Paul Walter Hauser starts.
Not just for the wrestling business, but also more for we have the contacts, we have the connects that we need to take that extra step out there. So yeah, I need you to be a wrestler. So okay, you and the wrestler, go right ahead. But you're here for another purpose too. Let's be honest. He's here for another purpose. He has those doors that can open there in Hollywood. Get some stuff out there, and we go from there and see what happens.
And listen, it's no surprise that when Paul Walter Hauser was around, all of a sudden Danny McBride was around.
Yeah.
Right? And then Danny McBride and this El Gato, Vaca, a lot has come into play since that fruition. And now we're sitting back going, all right, when we get Fusion back, and like I'll always say, Contra was at its best when Josef Samael was there and the product was strong. Now we're all having, and I know he just got hurt, unfortunately, but there's been no problem. Who knows how bad that injury with, Hammerstone, right? We don't know how bad the injury is with Hammerstone.
Yes.
But we all know the amazing rivalry between Contra Unit, Hammerstone, and everybody else. We're getting a lot of the core back with more production eyes. And like you said, Paul Walter Hauser brings a set of connects that none of these other guys do. My bad. We fucking dragged mad long into MLW. My bad. 15 minutes on MLW.
That's how we're supposed to be. We're supposed to talk about MLW and
and then everything else.
Everything happens, But switching from MLW, I wanted to bring up your favorite female wrestler, Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Moné.
How's everybody my favorite wrestler? I barely like anybody.
You love her. That at one point she became Drago Moné because she had close to 15 belts
What was her name? Dragon?
Yeah, Dragon Monet, like the dragon guy. What was his name? It was something dragon. He had like 15 belts back in those days. He was a cruiserweight.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this dude was all over 15 belts like 20, 25 years ago. Like he even beat Brian Pillman for the WCW welterweight or lightweight. So he was an Ultimo Dragon.
Okay, I remember Ultimo Dragon. Yeah. Oh, I remember the picture he had with his arms around his neck. Yeah. All right.
So she was going as Ultima Monet. Like, which was kind of cool. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. But she went over the whole world, which this is what you want to bring star power to your company.
Yes.
Fill the seats up. You make a big payday because now you have them come early. You have them sit there. They sign their memorabilia, take pictures with the fans. People making money. Everybody's happy. You get the belt. And we knew ultimately she was going to go back and start losing all the belts. So that's what happened.
Yes.
Yeah, she lost her belt in AEW, and she left, and then she was going all over the world, Paris, France, Italy, dropping all the belts to all different companies that she had won the belts from. There was one belt left that she had, which was the one from Malaysia. And unfortunately, she dropped that belt because unfortunately Malaysia, the company didn't have enough funds to fly her down to Malaysia and drop the belt there on their show, on their story. So, which kind of weirded me because she won the belt from the Dragon, from the Phoenix Girl, in a GCW show in New York.
Okay.
So she was trying to do the same thing, like trying to, let's meet here, and we'll do the drop of the belts. But I guess they couldn't agree on a way to get that done. So she just relinquished the belt, sent it back to Malaysia, which to me, this trip ends on a sour note that she couldn't go back to their country.
Yeah.
Have the match there, which would have been awesome. Have it in the front crowd and have Phoenix beat her and pin her right there in front of the whole crowd to win the belt. I'm pretty sure that place would have exploded. And, everybody would have made money because the company would have made money. Her coming in, with the merchandise and all that kind of stuff, they would have made that money easy. But, unfortunately, we didn't have enough funds to have her come down and get that done. Now, would you have taken a discount to go there, or would you kept yourself firm and say, hey, this is my fee? You know what I'm saying? That and there, I'm kind of because I don't know all the backstory. We don't know, so I'm just speculating. But I'm pretty sure she has a set fee of what she's making for her to go there. And but maybe she could have taken us. Something, guys. I'm cool with it. You don't have to pay me. I'll pay my own way down there. We'll do this. Let me get the merchandise money. We said I signed it. Give me half of that money. I'll be good. I'll go down there, and we'll do it.
Even if she flew herself, and she said, "Look, I want a specific amount from the gate, right? I want whatever from the gate. You can have the merchandise, whatever. I want a specific amount for the gate to cover my shit, to make sure I'm good. Because I draw how I draw, right?
It's like you break even, get a couple of dollars in your pocket.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm good. Plus, let's not act like she ain't paid well by AEW. And I'm pretty sure that she has points in AEW and stock and all that other stuff. Because if you're going to sign her from
venue stuff too, so.
Yeah, she's definitely up there in the top of the branch over there. So I don't know why, if you have a rich guy like Tony Khan and she says, hey, look, maybe we can get my fight out there, put it on our shit, whatever,
And then you let us have Phoenix come and do an episode here, even if it's Ring of Honor show.
Right? Like, I mean
everybody wins.
Everybody wins. They get a fighter out. Their name goes out there. Oh, wrestler from such and such and such and such, and it's simple. But you know how it is in the wrestling industry. These people are rich for a reason because they're not that bright. You know what I mean? Like, so I think a lot could have been done. Do I hate when wrestlers just have to fucking just put a belt down and send it, say it's over? Yeah, nobody wants to see that. The fans don't want to see it. The companies don't want to see it. The wrestlers don't want to do it.
I also hate when they win too many belts.
Oh, it's stupid. You're not defending them shits. Yeah, it's dumb as fuck.
One or two is fine. If you're independent, that's fine. Because at least you're independent, you get to go to all those places.
Yeah.
Places. But still, man, that's still too many. 15? For what? To put what double point? To put what point? I don't get it.
Half the time, nobody knows any of these companies exist.
Exactly. Thank you. Nobody knows. And if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't know either. If it wasn't to us, you would have never known what a Malaysian company is.
Exactly.
Or who Diana Phoenix is. You know, because we've told you who she is. And be on the lookout for her. Because she'll be the next person in WWE NXT in a year or two. And you heard it here first. You heard it here. Like we've told you, all these other girls, Nikki Blackheart, we've told you from CCW. If it wasn't for us, you guys would have never known who she is. We're going to be NXT. Actually, as a matter of fact, she is now because she dropped her belt this past month and in the last show, and she gave her goodbyes at the end of the show. So she's up there. Eric Academia. Valentina Rossi, Fallen Gray. We're the ones, if you heard the names, you go like, I heard this name before. It's because we've tried this name for months. We don't sit here and just talk bull crap. We're dropping names of people that we know, that we've seen. And no, we are not experts in anything. We've just been watching wrestling for a total of 100 years between both of us. We know what we like and we know what works.
So, okay, I'm not going to... There's a difference, right? I think the cool part about what we do is a lot of the times we don't agree, right? We give our take on whatever.
A lot of times we don't agree.
But we've watched wrestling for so many years.
That's the difference between us. Yeah. We don't agree and we talk our shit and we don't agree and that's it. Who cares?
But we see what should make sense. And we're not saying that just because we think that it's right, but it's just our take with what we've seen and how we see the industry. And we know a lot of wrestlers. We talk with a lot of wrestlers. It's just you get an insight for things. And we have said this, and I'm not trying to circle back to MLW, but with getting Gallus and stuff, we have said, oh man, they should get a partnership with ICW. Why? Because you have 3 wrestlers from there, right? Isla Dawn goes through there. She's been there. It's the same thing that we say with these people. You see them on a GCW or the CCW, you love their work, and you're like, man, you could tell who's about to go, right? Yeah. Not because they're winning 6 million titles, but you see their work and you see how they're above everybody, right? Like, you're like, oh man, they're going to get snatched up quick. That's when when we first were doing Impact Heavy, we were like, oh, I hope Impact signs this person. People, who's that? Like, yo, trust me, this person's the one. It's the same shit with Tasha Steele. Who's Tasha Steele, right? Like, I mean, come on, man. It's like, we've seen her through N.W.A. We've seen their work. I mean, I don't know, man. I think that there's ways that AEW should have really assisted on this one and took a little bit of a financial hit just to fly her down. But then you build a relationship with somebody else who might have other talents you could scout and be like, oh, we get first dibs on these people.
Yeah, exactly. That's right there. That's the word. We get first dibs.
Yeah.
They could get first dibs on Diana Phoenix, who, like I said, a year or now, when she gets into that age and she gets her wrestling body, where she's there. Okay, this is the wrestling body. This is her right now.
So, for instance, and this is, I think, the perfect way of seeing something. Right now, Chelsea Green is hot as fuck, right? Like, what she's been doing for the last year and a half, she's been killing it. So she goes to NXT. It doesn't really work. She comes to Impact Wrestling. She's killing it as Laurel Van Ness. She
Yes.
before the Hot Mess Express, just in
Yes.
general. LVN is killing it. She goes back to NXT, doesn't really work, goes on the independents, goes back. Something clicks. She has her own little crew. She's the most American, not American because she's Canadian, right? And
Yes, she was the United States belt, the first person to win it. That's the Canadian belt.
and then she has the American hat thing. She's killing it, right? But you're looking at somebody who went through their system 2.5 times until they finally seen, okay, that's where it clicks. I see it. This is how we work it, right? So you go, shit. It's like how we sit there and go, how come Trevor Lee didn't work? How come Parker Bordeaux don't work, right? There are talents that, and we'll go with him in a minute, but, another time. But, I mean, it's just like, do you know who Angel Hayes is?
Have no idea.
All right, I'm going to send you some shit from Angel Hayes. She's fucking super legit. And I love her work, and I think it's only a matter of time before she gets snatched up by somebody, right? So we see these people, we see the talent, we bring it to you. When we say these names, we hope when you see this, you go, who the fuck is this? Padow. You go on your phone, you look, you get interested, you hope it goes to your favorite promotion, right? And then you hear from Uncle Chef and Uncle Muffin's like, man, these guys actually know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? But my bad, we're just over talking shit today, man. Damn.
That's fine because you mentioned N.W.A. and I actually have some N.W.A. news. Sinclair Broadcasting, which we know Sinclair Broadcasting used to own Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor is sold to AEW. So now Ring of Honor is gone, Sinclair Broadcasting. And now Sinclair Broadcasting actually now has a working promotion or working deal with Billy Corgan to now start broadcasting N.W.A. hour on the broadcast on Sinclair Broadcasting. Now Sinclair Broadcasting owns their own channel company.
Yeah.
They own 179 different channels or different stations all across the United States.
Okay.
They have 179 stations. 40% of American TV is to Sinclair Broadcasting.
Damn.
They own the tennis channel. They own Comet. They own 3 other broadcasting stuff. So now you get the N.W.A. Power, who's now on Roku. Now you get syndicated on the weekly show through Sinclair. So now if you, I used to get Sinclair, and we used to get Ring of Honor on Sundays, like around either 10 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon, something like that. So now if I get Sinclair, I'm probably going to be able to see N.W.A. Power now in there. But now it's going to be on Roku when they do their shows every Tuesday nights at 8, and then broadcast through Sinclair on syndication on the weekends or wherever.
Whatever time slot they put it in.
I mean, that's huge. But that's how Ring of Honor used to get out. So now you get the N.W.A. 40% of the United States on channels will be watching the N.W.A. If you're a wrestling fan, will be now on Sinclair Broadcasting. And to me, that's huge because that's all indication.
And it's great for them because they have such a young roster.
Yes.
If the young demographic tunes in, they can identify with, oh man, look, these guys, girls, they're so young, right? Like it's not like jumping into WWE with people in their late 30s and whatever. You could grow with these people. You know what I mean?
So to me, that's some good news for the N.W.A. because now they'll be syndicated on the show every week. 40% of the United States, bro. 40% of America gets Sinclair Broadcasting. That's crazy. That's millions upon millions upon millions. 40%. That's a huge number. So, I mean, that's kudos to N.W.A. Kudos to Billy Corgan, which I know you don't like that much. You and him got a history. But Billy Corgan is doing his shit. I still say Dizzy Carter stabbed them in the back.
See, why you gotta do that knowing I'm gonna say something now?
I'm just saying. You say
you always do that. Now I was letting it rock. So all right. let's be honest. I'm not the biggest Billy Corgan fan, right?
But
But
let's be honest.
no, I'm just saying. But how many times have I sat here when N.W.A was doing his thing? Have I gave Billy Corgan credit, right? Like I've
Yes.
always said, he's doing his thing. When it comes
Yes.
to Dixie, I don't give a shit. I'm always gonna fall on the sword and I'm gonna ride with it. I'm gonna defend the honor. Like if I was the hubby.
I've never said nothing wrong about Dixie Carter the
You
person.
said she stabbed him in the back and almost caught a case.
Dixie Carter the person. I'm fine with.
I love Madam Dixie.
Dixie Carter, the businesswoman, business of
Sweetheart. She's a sweetheart.
Corgan in
She's
the
a
back.
sweetheart.
Backstabbed them in the back.
No, she didn't.
Had a
No, she
hand.
didn't.
Had a
I
hand.
refuse to believe that.
They had a handshake deal back in
Fuck the
October
handshake deal.
of 2016 when TNA was about to die. So TNA was like this. Look. TNA was like
Allegedly.
this.
Allegedly.
Look, we knew. Hold up. It was like this. That was their pause back in October of 2016 when Billy Corgan, from his own pocket, paid for the last set of tapings in that year, and then they did that weird pay-per-view, Bound for Glory from Japan, and nobody knew what the hell was going on. And then at the end of the year, they had made a deal that he was going to buy the company from Dixie Carter, and it was said and done and done. He paid for the $2 million taxes that she owed in Tennessee, in Nashville. He paid for that. And then when they were supposed to hang over the keys to Billy Corgan, he goes, backstabs him with her letter opener and gives it the company to Anthem. 95%
Hold
of
on.
the.
So let me ask you, where's all this information?
That's what happened.
Where's all that information coming from?
It's all over the place. You can
I'm
Google
just
it.
saying.
Google it. It's all over.
All right. So this information is all over the place. Now let's talk adult shit here. Let's talk like adults.
Backstabbing.
Hold on. So
Chef, right now I'm just picturing, and my back is hurting from all the backstabs.
oh my God.
I'm about to throw this shirt out.
Listen.
I'm about to throw this shirt out because of the knife holes in the back of the shirt.
Listen, if Madam Dixie would have came over, she knew where I was at. If she would say, yo, Chef, do me a favor. Allegedly. Come into the back and put the beats on Billy. I'm just saying, Billy would have caught the fucking hands. Allegedly. But listen, so hold on. All jokes aside. So
Yes.
you're telling me in the era of 2016 that this happened. Now, he's a businessman. This is a guy who's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So he's been in the music industry for insane amount of years.
Yes.
Doing this thing, legendary group. Everybody knows the name Billy Corgan and Smashing Pumpkins, right? Cool. You're telling.
Let me go back. I might know 2 songs.
No, I don't know his music. I'm not a fan of that kind of music. I'm just saying they're a legendary group, and we give them their flowers.
Yes.
Okay. So you're telling me in this day and age of 2016 that if I'm gonna pay $2 million plus XYZ of whatever, that I don't get nothing in paperwork and with lawyers? So is it stabbing in the back if it's a handshake deal? I'm just saying.
I mean, I remember from days that you shook hands, and that was it.
I agree.
And I will have to say, unfortunately, I have to agree with Chef, which rarely happens. Rarely happens. But Chef is correct in this point. In this day of age, you have to have everything written down. There's got to be contracts signed. Everything's got to be done. Because unfortunately, it's your word against my word, and handshakes don't mean shit nowadays. So everything has to be deal and deal. Even contracts between 2 brothers, you have to have a contract because they might turn on your back too.
True.
The Chef
And
is
it's always Madam Dixie for life. For life, Madam
never.
Dixie.
I don't have a problem with her, but if you put me in the room with her and we are about to do a deal, I'm gonna make sure to hide any knives and just bring a pen and a piece of paper
She's
and
a
have her
sweetheart.
sign.
She's a sweetheart.
Dude, you know how many sweethearts are murderers out there?
I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying, the Madam Dixie I know is a sweetheart. She's a trustworthy individual.
Oh, dude, I wouldn't go that far now.
I'm going that far.
Madam Sweetheart, that's fine. But a trustworthy individual,
Trustworthy.
dude, you can't even spell trustworthy. First of all, I can't even spell trustworthy either. I can't even say it right. Trustworthy. You just jumped ahead, bro. You just too much for me right now. Too much.
Listen, if Madam Dixie had the bridge in Brooklyn, I want to buy it. How about that?
Lord.
How about that? Madam Dixie for life.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Well, I don't know, Jeff. That's all I had for this week.
Okay. Listen, like I said, I'm super biased when it comes to Madam Dixie because she was always sweet to me and my family when we were in the Impact Zone.
Oh, always, yes.
Yeah, she's unbelievably great. Like I said, as a fan, I love her. Whatever the business might be, that's somebody else's problem. That's on them. But we gave you Trevor Lee.
Almost 40 minutes in just three things. We went 40 minutes. Look at us. Good Lord. I told you, but we start one thing and we just stretch it out longer than it should.
That's true. Listen, man, I don't know, man. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. It's just the way we are, man. We talk, we have fun with this ish. Like I say, and I say it all the time. When you get to our age, life becomes kind of hectic with shit, right? We come on here, we talk, we have a lot of laugh. Shit is therapy. So, like, share, all that good stuff. For me and this man, we out of here. Deuces.
Deuces.
Why is this not recorded? There you go.